In this video, we're going to look at some one variable statistics. On the left side of our screen, we have our data set that we're going to use, and we're going to look for our minimum, maximum, range, mean, median, and mode. So the very first thing that we want to do to make it easier on ourselves is we want to list our data from least to greatest. So I'm going to do that at the top here. So my smallest value is 4. Then my next value is 7, and you can keep track of it on the side. So once we've done that, it makes it really easy for us to find our minimum and our maximum. So our minimum value is the smallest value, which in this case is 4. Our maximum value is the largest value, which in this case now is 65. The next piece is our range, and to find the range, that is your maximum value minus the minimum value. So in our case, our maximum value is 65, and we're going to subtract 4. So our range is 61. And basically that tells us how spread out our data is. Our next value is the mean. In order to find that, you add all the values together and divide by how many values you have. So we're going to take 4 plus 7 plus 8 plus 10 plus 10 plus 65, and we're going to divide it by how many values we have, which in this case, we have 6 different values. If we write it like this, we actually are going to get the incorrect answer because order of operations tells us that division comes before addition. So it would just take 65 divided by 6 and then add it on to all the other values. So we want to add all the values together first and then divide by 6. So how we can show that on the calculator is you could put all of your values that you're adding together inside parentheses, so you make sure that that happens first before division. So if we do that and put that into a calculator, our answer is going to be 17.3 repeating. For median is the middle value. So in this case, I am going to relist all of my original data set. And then how I can find the middle is I need to evenly cross off each side. So I'm going to cross one number off each side, and then another number. Now, if I were to cross off again, I wouldn't have any numbers left. So these are my middle values. If there was one single number left, then that would be your median. But because I have 2, I need to figure out what's in between there. Mathematically, how you figure that out is you're going to add those 2 values together and then divide by 2. So basically, you're finding the average between them. So if I simplify, I get 18 divided by 2, which equals 9. And then for the last one, mode is just the most occurring value. So if I look in my data set, the most occurring number is 10. So that would be my mode. Something that's good to point out is if you have 2 numbers that are the same. So for example, if my data set would have been 4, 4, 7, 8, 10, 10, 65, then my mode would be 4 and 10 because there's 2 values. If there's more than 2 though, so if it would have been, if I add a 65 now, so if I have 4, 10, and 65, as soon as I have more than 2, I say there is no mode. So if there's 1 value or there's 2, then I can list those. If all the values are different, then there's no mode, or if you have more than 3 or more values, then there is also no mode. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those values so that my data matches with what I have down below. The last thing that I want to point out is there are some other terms we talked about as I gave you the definition. So mean, it's important to know that's also the same thing as average. Median is the middle value. And then mode is the most occurring.